How's everyone doing? Good? Yeah, I'd like you guys to do me a favor really quick. Go ahead and close your eyes. I'm going to say 2 words and then count to 5. Ready? Decision making. Oh, that's not good, right? Who wants to do that? Who wants to make a decision? It's not great. So I want us to talk about what many of us never want to talk about. What we want. In our line of work, our families, our romantic relationships, our finances, whether or not we want Chinese food or pizza on Friday night, the prevailing answer seems to be, I don't know. Well, I'm here to tell you that we always know what we want. It is the job of arriving at the moment of action that we discuss with others. Asking as many individuals as possible, prolonging the inevitable. Should I ask for that raise? Am I actually in love with so-and-so? I feel dead at this job. It brings me no joy. I should leave. Shouldn't I? We aren't searching for what we want. We are asking others to give us permission. Some of you might say, well, shouldn't I be considering the opinions of my loved ones? What they have to say matters to me. Well, of course it does. Having a few trusted individuals that we can go to in times of vulnerability, need, joy, this is a very healthy thing. What I aim at is that when we start asking so many if it's okay to do X, Y, and Z, we drive ourselves further and further away from what we wanted to begin with. We allow too much in, so much so that we call up our friend and become confused about whose thought was whose, so much so that we call a different friend to regurgitate the advice of Jack, Sue, and Larry in order to determine what they think about which one of them gave the best advice for the best course of action. It's exhausting, isn't it? We lack trust and faith in our own individual power of choice. But why? The permeation of technology in our everyday lives is making us even more uneasy about making decisions because we subject ourselves to the validation of others by way of social media each day. Now, for those of you who are sitting out there saying, I don't really care about that stuff, I'm here to tell you we do. Have you ever posted even one thing that received a heavy response? Did you enjoy that validation? Of course you did. The inundation of social media and Google in our lives has created a web of countless ways to seek advice and approval. We never really decide anything. We'll spend hours reading self-help articles and still remain in decision purgatory. Let's talk about that. Decision purgatory, or limbo, the space between, you know, is this place where if we rest too long, we may never escape. It's that moment of time we spend right before executing a choice. The space where we weigh the consequence and reward factor in order to give worth to the decision we're about to make. This is the exact location of our battle with decisions, or really our battle with being firm about them, right? You know, I don't have enough money, or I don't have enough time, or so-and-so wouldn't really like that. La, 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 la. Our excuses become so long, our list of why nots is so long that we render ourselves blind to what we started asking about in the first place. I have an example of a friend of mine who embodies me and the rest of us in the times where decision purgatory is actually a little bit of a dangerous place to cling to. My good friend Jessica is one of those chronic excuse makers. We all know the type because we all certainly have a little bit of Jessica within us in one way or another. Except in her particular case with decision purgatory, she had more of this infection that she believed didn't have a cure. She was once in this relationship where she spent more time on the phone with me and others talking about how unhappy she was. But, you know, it wasn't his fault, or it wasn't because she did this or this and that, or because. You get the idea. Her relationship became more about asking me to analyze it for her than her actually having the relationship. Well, she did this for about a year until she realized that the moment she decided to call up and ask for advice the first time was the moment she already knew what she wanted to do right then and there. So why do we do this? We are perpetual hesitators. We allow these hesitations, these excuses, to become roadblocks to our life's decisions. It's like running on a treadmill. You can run and run until your feet bleed, but you have gone nowhere. Running forever in search of someone to tell you what you already know. The longer we remain in decision purgatory directly affects how we live our day-to-day lives. The more time we spend wrestling in this gray area, this space between, directly affects how we interact with each passing moment. Right now, I invite you to think about who you are allowing to direct your life. Because I'll give it to you straight. We live in a country where the power of choice, our individual power of choice, is one of the top reasons America is so great. In general, no one has control over where you'd like to live, your choice of career, whether you want to run your own business, what school you want to go to, who you want to marry, your religious beliefs, so on and so on and so on. The list extends to great lengths and is filled with the strongest base we could have in the world to exercise our power of choice, and yet so many of us squander it. I offer you a challenge. I encourage you to start doing all of that research and permission asking and advice seeking of yourself. Take some time to reflect to the past and see what decisions you have made. Were they what you wanted? Crack open the good and the bad and see just where your decisions have brought you. Hey, listen, lady, you know, I really don't want to go looking and uncovering the negative events of my life. I've done a pretty good job burying them. All right, okay. I'm going to tell you the problem with that. If you refuse to reflect upon the moments where decision purgatory has taken hold of your life, you will remain unable to recognize that you yourself have always had the power to remove the shackles of decision purgatory on your own. Folks, I'm here to tell you that you have always known what you wanted. You know right now exactly what it is that you want and how to get there. You have always had the power to make your own decisions. Here you all are sitting in front of me somehow or some way. Life cannot and should not be about comparing ourselves to others or allowing someone or something else to validate us. Don't let anyone diminish your shine by telling you how they would live it. Thanks for the advice, Jack, Sue, and Larry, but you're not the one that has to kick it into high gear and execute. It's me. So what's the takeaway here? Obviously get the Chinese food on Friday night. Folks, it has always been about you. The people in your life should be there because they love and support you, not because you've hired them to run the damn thing. Start trusting yourselves more. Dig yourselves out of decision purgatory and embrace your individual power of choice. Thank you.